Ariel Atkins scores 29 points. Napheesa Collier has 30. And Teresa Weatherspoon is very, very frustrated. What is up, awesome people of the internet? And here is your daily WNBA update. And we start with the Washington Mystics, who win their first home game of the season, defeating the Chicago Sky 83-81. Now, going into this game, I thought that it would be a close game, but that the Sky would eventually win the game. But boy, was I wrong. As the Washington Mystics came into this game with a boatload of confidence off their first win against the Atlanta Dream. And a thing to note, guys, is that the Washington Mystics did it without Brittany Sykes because she actually injured herself in the fourth quarter of that Atlanta game with a left foot sprain, and now she is out for at least 2 weeks. So having her out for this game was huge, but everybody else stepped up. A thing to note is that this was a different injury than the left ankle injury that Brittany Sykes just returned from. So 2 injuries on the same leg. So tough for Brittany Sykes, but she's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, and we will see when she returns. But even without their leader, the Mystics do get the job done yesterday. And it started from the tip-off, where the Washington Mystics were energized and ready to go. And it was very clear by the way that Washington was moving. They had crisp passes. They were passing it to the open man, solid screens, backdoor passes, all of which gave the Mystics fantastic looks at the basket early. In the first quarter alone, the Washington Mystics led 24-10, with Aaliyah Edwards going off for 10 easy buckets. 3-pointers were flying from Ariel Atkins and Steph Dolson, all while the Chicago Sky looked disorganized, frazzled, and a bit frustrated. The Sky do come back a bit in the second quarter due to a lineup of Lindsay Allen, Kennedy Carter, Michaela Onyenwere, Angel Reese, and Isabel Harrison. They narrow the lead down to 3, 23-26, with 5 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the second quarter. They were building some momentum through this, though it is very important to know that they were building momentum against the Mystics bench. So both teams sub in their starters, and once again, the Mystics are off to the races, and they extend the lead to 11 by the end of the second quarter. Now, third quarter comes, it's basically a wash, and then the fourth quarter comes, and the Sky have a chance to get back in the game. And they do, through getting to the foul line, getting the ball to Angel and Camilla down low to work. And with 50 seconds left to go in the game, Lindsay Allen drives to the basket, makes a layup, and the Chicago Sky have dwindled what was once an 18-point deficit to just 2 points. The Washington Mystics have 2 chances to score. They do not. And the Sky have the ball. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. They can either tie the game with a 2 or all out win it with a 3. And they do neither, as the play they run actually was a good one. One that left Angel Reese wide open in the paint. We had Lindsay Allen with the ball. Lindsay Allen had the ball, and instead of looking for Angel down low, she frantically shoots up a 3-point shot. I think she was a bit confused as to where exactly the clock was, and if she had enough time, but she did have enough time to get the ball to Angel. She decides to shoot a rushed 3-point shot. She misses the shot. For the rebound, Steph Dolson ends up fouling Marina Mabrey. So Steph Dolson gets fouled out because of that. And Marina Mabrey heads to the free throw line for an opportunity to tie the game. She misses her first free throw, misses her second free throw on purpose, and that is the ball game. Time winds out, and the Washington Mystics take down the Chicago Sky 83-81. Now, while a lot of that commentary was specifically about the Sky, let me give the Washington Mystics the respect that they deserve, because they played a heck of a game, led by Ariel Atkins, who scored an efficient 29 points on 9 of 13 shooting. And for Ariel, it was a mix of a lot of things. It was shooting threes, it was getting into the paint, it was getting to the free throw line. And this energy from Ariel is something that the Washington Mystics have needed all season, because Ariel is talented enough to score 25 plus points a game, night in and night out, or at least 20 points a game, night in and night out. And to give her team a chance at victory, that's what she needs to do, especially with Brittany Sykes out and with Shakira Austin out. Now, for Aaliyah Edwards, she once again had a fantastic game. I'm not sure exactly what it is about the Chicago Sky, but they bring the best out of Aaliyah Edwards. She was fantastic both on the offensive and defensive end, finishing with an efficient 16 points. She had 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. Yes, she did foul out of the game. For that matter, Steph Dolson did too. And still, even with both of their starting post players out via getting fouled out, the Mystics still find a way to get it done. Julie Van Loo was also very clutch in this game. She hit a super clutch 3-point shot with 2 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the game when the Washington Mystics were on a pretty drastic shooting slump. She hit that 3-point shot, gave them the momentum back, and ultimately got them to finish the game. She did finish the game with 8 points and 4 assists for Julie Van Loo. For the Chicago Sky, Kennedy Carter off the bench led the squad for scoring with 16 points and 6 rebounds, shooting 6 of 9 from the field. Angel Reese struggled in her shooting percentage, but she did finish with a double-double, 10 points and 14 rebounds. Now, this is her 5th consecutive double-double. Now, did you know that there are only 2 players who have had a longer double-double streak in their first year in the WNBA? Cindy Brown did it. She had six games in a row with a double-double when she was a rookie with the Detroit Shock in 1998. And Tina Charles did it in 2010 when she had 6 straight double-doubles with the Connecticut Sun. For that matter, Tierra McCowan had 5 straight double-doubles in 2019 when she played with Indiana. And now, Angel Reese has 5 straight double-doubles with the Chicago Sky in 2014. Camila Cardozo also added in 12 points for the Sky, and Dana Evans had 14. Now, at the end of the game for the presser, Sky head coach Teresa Weatherspoon was pretty heated about this game. And here is what she had to say.
Coach, I understand that it's not about moral victories, but how's
Ain't no moral victories. I don't even want to talk about any moral victories. I just want to talk about the game. No moral victories here. None.
We don't talk about having such a resilient group.
No moral victories here. We ain't come from no moral victory.
Quick follow-up, though. The starting lineup struggled with slower starts. I mean, the guards had 7 assists in the first half. From your background being a point guard, what would you like to see differently from your guard?
It ain't got nothing to do with me. It got nothing to do with my background. It's got every bit to do with what they are learning and what they're doing as they're growing. They'll learn how to run the system. They're doing it and learning fast. Got to quickly learn it.
You emphasized the slow starts ahead of the game, saying you wanted your team to punch first. You didn't see that tonight. So at what point do you potentially consider shifting your starting 5?
I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking about going winning games. We'll figure it out.
So late in the game, you have the group on the floor. Dana's on the bench. What was the decision there to leave Dana on the bench in the game?
That wasn't the decision that was made. This group was going. You don't stop the momentum. The group was going.
Anyone else in person?
One thing you guys got to understand, I don't play mind games. So whatever the flow of the game is, that's what's flowing.
What did you like about the group you had on the court late?
And the energy and momentum was then shifted in their favor.
So when you consider how they're kind of bringing your team back into the game, again, does that play into potentially insert?
Games are games. Games are games. There's so many things that happens in games, and you make the adjustments in the game.
Any more in person?
Yeah, I got one. Hey, Coach, I understand your frustration. Like Kennedy, she played really tough. I think a lot of people just seen maybe she had a little bit more firepower to it, and that might be great for the start. What you think?
As you.
Any more in person? We'll go to Carly Bell on Zoom. Please unmute.
The one thing about Kennedy is she's accepted her role. As of right now, she's accepting her role and doing a hell of a job in her role.
Today, but then also just trying to get more attempts at the line. What did you see in the second half that out of your team offensively that was able to get more free throw attempts to make this a closer game?
But when you're aggressive, normally that happens. So we're a little more aggressive in the second half. A little bit better trying to get to the rim. There was deliberate actions, more so to speak, trying to get downhill a little bit more, trying to get to the rim a little bit more. Bigs were being powerful down there a little bit more. Those things have to start from the very beginning, from the onset. And we can do that. We'll give ourselves a chance. We'll give ourselves an opportunity to win games. Other than that, digging out of holes in this league, it's tough.
So clearly, she was very, very, very frustrated. But her frustration was encapsulated by how the presser ended.
Any more for Coach?
Just one more for me. This next stretch of games against the Fever, the Wings, how are you going to use this as a measuring stick to assess whether or not maybe some changes need to happen?
And from listening to the players, both Kennedy and Dana, it's very clear that no one truly knows exactly what is the problem for the Chicago Sky. But whatever it is, they got to fix it very fast.
Inconsistency that's been there offensively, is it more of just chemistry? Is it trying to find everyone's spots? What, like, outside of just like the actual X's and O's of it, what do you think is leading to the inconsistency offensively?
I just think it's something that we gotta just take care of as a team. We're talking about it every day. We're trying to find different ways to get everybody in their right spots and everybody feeling good about what we're doing. I just think it's something eternally that we have to fix and we have to switch so that Chicago can be successful.
Obviously, there's some change to the lineup due to injuries and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's the reason as to why the chemistry hasn't been there?
No. It's just something that we just gotta fix. We gotta watch film and we gotta watch the game to see what we can be better at. Don't just watch the game to just watch. Like, we got to point out the points to where we're not good, where we go three empty possessions. Like, why are we having these empty possessions? What can we do to be better? We just got to look in the mirror and fix it.
Now, for the Mystics, of course, they had a great postgame presser as they were happy to have won 2 games in a row. The Sky's next game is on Sunday against the Indiana Fever at 11 a.m. Central, and Washington's next game is also against Indiana on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. Now, let me know, guys, in the comments what you all thought about this game. If you're a Sky fan, let me know what you think needs to change for this team to actually get back to winning. This is their 3rd straight loss of the season. And if you're a Mystics fan, let me know how long you think the Mystics can keep up their winning ways. All right, guys, now on to the next game as the Minnesota Lynx narrowly defeated the LA Sparks 81-76. Now, for this game, I expected the Lynx to come out on top, but when I tell you, for a part of the game, it kind of looked like the LA Sparks might be getting the upset, because in the first quarter, the Sparks go on a 15-7 run to close out the first quarter with an 11-point lead, 25-14. And from there on, the reason why they were doing what they were doing with that lead is because of 3 Sparks players: Ari McDonald, De'Erica Hamby, and Rickea Jackson, all really being able to get a lot of what they wanted, getting to the free throw line, hitting threes, and getting to the bucket. Now, the Sparks were on their front foot for the start of the game, and it was a matter of time before Cheryl Reeve got the Lynx back in this game, and they did just that for the rest of the game. Napheesa Collier took over in the second quarter, going for 13 points and really leading the charge for the Lynx. And at the end of the second, the score dwindled down to 44 LA, 39 Minnesota. And the Lynx just kept their foot on the gas from there. Let's forward to 1 minute and 13 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter when the Lynx were up 79-73. And the LA Sparks get another spark from their rookie, Rickea Jackson. She gets fouled, makes both free throws. There's a series of uncharacteristic misses from both Courtney Williams and Napheesa Collier. It is 19 seconds left to go. The Sparks are down by 5. Rickea Jackson just decides to take it on herself. She gets a clutch runner to go, and we have a 2-point game with 10 seconds left to go in the game. But unfortunately for the Sparks, they do not have enough time to get the ball because the Mystics have the ball, so they foul. And they foul Fee. She makes both of her free throws. Lexi Brown gets the ball, tries to get a game-saving 3-point shot. She misses it. And from there, it's over. The Lynx win 81 to the Sparks 76. Now, let me hone in on the Sparks real quick on this one. I really, really enjoyed the performance that Rickea Jackson played. Day in and day out, she is continuing to show us that she is ready for the big lights of the WNBA. Last night, she got her first career double-double. She finished with 19 points and 10 rebounds on 6 of 10 shooting. Now, one thing I noticed about Rickea is that she scores in spurts for the most part. And for Coach Kurt Miller, I think he has to find a way to make sure that Rickea is more active on the offensive end throughout the game, because I do see her as a 20-plus a game player, especially when she's playing against undersized players, which she was against the Minnesota Lynx. Dearica Hamby, for her end, she had a double-double with 16 points and 11 rebounds. Ariel McDonald had 14 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Now, for the Minnesota Lynx, it was all about 2 players, primarily. Napheesa Collier, who had a whopping 30 points, 8 steals, which set a Lynx record, by the way, for those 8 steals, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Now, this was the first time that anyone has ever had such a crazy stat line as Napheesa Collier. And Fee didn't just do it by herself. Courtney Williams did her thing last night. She almost had a triple-double, 15 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, and 4 steals. Now, when people say you can't turn a shooting guard into a PG-1, guys, just take a look at Courtney Williams. She has transformed herself from just a guard with a great mid-range into a pass-first point guard who has a lethal mid-range shot. Alana Smith, for the Mystics, had 12 points and 7 rebounds. Bridget Carlton had 11 points and 3 steals. And Kayla McBride had an off shooting night, finishing with 7 points. You add all of those points up for the starters, you get 75 points from the starters alone. The Minnesota Lynx last night marked the 5th time in WNBA history and the first time since 2017 that a team's starters put up 75 or more points a game and 15 or more steals a game. Now, if you're curious, for that 2017 team, who actually did that? Well, it was the LA Sparks, whose starters scored a whopping 99 points in double overtime against the Chicago Sky. The starters for that game for the Sparks were Alana Beard, Nneka Ogwumike, who had 32 points in that game, Odyssey Sims, Chelsea Gray, who had 20 in that game, and Candace Parker, who had 29. Now, shout out to Across the Timeline. Fantastic stats that they provide every single game. Make sure to go to their website, acrossthetimeline.com. Truly fantastic coverage of WNBA stats. So shout them out for some of my fun facts. They do come from Across the Timeline because Across the Timeline is fan-freaking-tastic. Anyway, guys, the LA Sparks play next against the Atlanta Dream on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, and the Minnesota Lynx play the Dallas Wings, on Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Now, let me know what y'all thought about this game. How good do you think Rickea Jackson can be next year in the WNBA? Because she's truly playing flat out phenomenal. And also, if you are a Minnesota Lynx fan, or at least someone who watches a lot of Minnesota Lynx games, riddle me this. Why do you think the Minnesota Lynx are as dominant as they are this year? I think there's been a offensive scheme change that Cheryl Reeve is running, and it's really allowing a lot of different players to shine. Yes, Fee is always going to get hers, but we've seen games with when Kayla McBride goes off for a lot of points. In this one, you kind of had everybody kind of contributing, especially Courtney Williams. Like, let me know, like, specifically, what do you think is different about this one? Yes, of course, you do have two new starters. in Atlanta and Courtney, who both came from the Chicago Sky. So another loss for the Chicago Sky, losing two huge players like that. But it feels like this Minnesota Lynx team is playing a different type of offense. And it's rare to be as good as they are and also be as short as they are. Because remember, Alana Smith is the tallest thing out there for the Minnesota Lynx. She's 6'4" in the starting lineup. Fee is only 6'1". Bridget Carlton is only 6'1". And yet they are dominating, especially against the posts of other teams. So, let me know what y'all think about that. And that was it for today's daily roundup for the WNBA. Now, guys, I am trying my best to really, really hone in on a schedule to get more daily updates for you all, and more just daily videos in general, more deep dives, more historical dives, all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that next week. We will have daily episodes. All right, guys, that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you all enjoyed this recap, if you all could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, that would absolutely help the channel out a whole lot. Also, hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed to the channel. We are on our road to 20,000 subscribers, and the goal is to get there before the All-Star break. Speaking of All-Star break, All-Star voting is now open, so make sure you all do that. Thank you all so much for rocking with me, and until next time, guys. Bye-bye.